This Suntop Cargo Top in Black Diamond is for those of you that have a two-door 2007 to 2018 JK that are looking for a top that's going to give you that tonneau cover windjammer, as well as a top that's going to be pretty much a safari style top across the top, giving you a full top, but something that looks and functions very different from a factory top that's going to give you a different look and different functionality. This is going to install pretty easily onto your Jeep, a 1 out of 3 wrenches, and we will show you how to do that in just a second. So this is a kit from Suntop that is really a modular kit. So they have a bunch of different pieces that are designed to work together or to work separately. What you're going to get here is their tonneau cover windjammer, as well as that safari style top that goes over the top of the Jeep. You can buy these pieces individually, or like you're purchasing them here, like you're seeing them here, this is going to be a kit. So you have the piece that goes across the top, protecting you from the sun, from any sort of rain. You have the windjammer, that's the piece with a plastic window in it that goes directly behind the 2 front seats, and the tonneau cover, which is the area that covers the cargo area when you have the rear seats flipped down or completely removed from the Jeep. Suntop is a little bit different in that they include all of their hardware in a kit like this. Now, there are some kits out there that will be a safari top or a bikini top or a windjammer or tonneau that don't include a lot of hardware with them. These ones are going to include all the hardware you need. So these pieces here, these are going to make up your door surrounds. You're also going to have your windshield bar right here. So you do have everything. This is actually has a metal piece built right into it. So you're going to have everything. If you're coming from, say, a hardtop, you don't have a windshield header, you don't have a tailgate bar, you don't have door surrounds, you don't have any of that stuff. This kit is going to include all of that stuff for you, which is going to be really nice. Because you're getting all of this hardware and because you're getting a pretty high quality product when you look at the build and the materials that the top is made out of, this is going to be a little bit more expensive than some of the other choices out there. This is going to come in at right around that $630 mark, which for what you're getting, I don't think is a crazy price. You are getting all the hardware, you're getting multiple pieces here, you're getting overall what adds up to be a complete soft top, and it is going to give you a very different look. So if that's what you're after, this is going to be a pretty good deal for you. Like I said before, easy install here. Let me show you how to do it.
Tools used for this installation: 3/8 drive, 13mm socket, 14mm socket, 13mm wrench, 14mm wrench, trim panel removal tool, extension T30, T50, optionals and impact, soapy water. All right, so our first step is to get our factory top out of here, starting with the windows. All right, let's flip up the corners of our top, just like this. And then our next step is to unlatch it and fold it back. We are going to work this back. All right, so I have a T30 Torx bit here. We're gonna remove our top. We're just gonna disconnect these bows here. All right, now we're gonna take our top off. I have my buddy Ryan over here to help me out because the top is kind of awkward. We're just gonna pull it straight back and lay it in a safe area. All right, to gain a little extra room for our cargo cover to wrap around here, we do have to remove these soft top brackets. So what we're gonna do now is zip up this little cover, expose those. It's gonna be that T30 Torx bit again. And then just set this off to the side where you put your factory soft top. All right, next we're gonna zip those back down and stow them back behind that trim piece. All right, now we're gonna remove our seat. All right, now our next step is to remove our door frame. If you still have your factory one, we're just gonna have these little plastic knobs. Just remove those, lift this straight up and out of the way. All right guys, so our next step, we're gonna be removing our seat belts just from the top here. If we wanna put our seat back in, all we have to do is just connect the top back up. All right guys, so now we're gonna put our roll bar covers over our standard roll bar covers. And we're gonna thread this zipper through, make sure it's seated all the way down, and then zipper it down just like that. Make sure that's laying flat. Now we can get our cargo cover into place. So what we're gonna do next is insert this metal bar right underneath our window here. Then we're going to roll it up a little bit like this, and then stick it through the side here with our cargo cover going towards the back, of course. All right, now that you have your cargo cover inside the Jeep, what we're going to do is take our clasps here and put them around our roll bar, make sure our strap is straight. This side as well. And what this is going to do is bring our cover into place. All right, there's two of these. Let's make sure this is forward. All right, there's another one here. All right, so what we're gonna do is bring in these little side straps that go over the top here, and you'll see that there's a zipper. I'm gonna set this to the bottom here. Now, I highly recommend doing this on a warm summer day, so this is a little bit more malleable. We're in the dead of winter, however, so I gotta use a little bit of muscle. All right, once you get the top situated, let's start working on our cover over here. I'm gonna start on the sides. Get these in the channel here. All right, so what we have to do next is remove these factory door bar connections, and what you do is you just grab it behind here and lift up. Now with those out of the way, what we're gonna do now is try to bring our cover around our roll bar, connect this side here, and then put our Velcro together like that. Put our roll bar cover down around that, bridge that gap. We're gonna do that on the other side as well. Bring it over, put our corner on. Put our roll bar cover back over that. And Suntop supplies you with the other side of the Velcro to put on your tailgate here. So what we're gonna do now is clean this edge, stick our Velcro on there. That way we can stick this on that Velcro. All right, so what I have here is just a soapy water mixture. Just gonna spray the door here and wipe it. If you have alcohol, I recommend using alcohol. Just want a clean surface to mate that Velcro too. So what I'm gonna do here is get my Velcro in place and then cut it to size. All right, now that we have a clean surface, we cut our Velcro to size. We're gonna stick it on there. And you'll notice how I'm not peeling off all the backing of this Velcro because I want it to be nice and even on there. Close it. Stick that Velcro on there. All right, so what we're gonna do now is hide our ends of our strap here, bring up this flap and the other side of that flap. Just stick it on, just like that. To get our top into place, that flap bar is gonna go towards the back. Then this is gonna go in the front. Now we have to get our new door edge guards and our new header panel, but it's not a header panel, it is just a bar. So let's get the bar now. All right, now that we have our top on top of our Jeep, we're gonna put our windshield bar underneath this Velcro, and it's gonna go right onto the front. So I'm gonna start at a corner and slip the rest of it in. All right, so next we're gonna work on our door frame. This will just slip into here. It will only go one way, it is notched. Put that in there. Put it in the top here. And on the side right here, there's a little hole. This is gonna go underneath on the front. As you'll see, we have the top forward and that bracket. We're gonna have to put a bolt through that. Now it's a 14mm bolt on the top and a 13mm nut on the bottom. So I'm gonna put the washer right there. I'm gonna grab my 14mm wrench and my 13mm socket on my impact and just tighten this down like that. And then on the back side, we're gonna put that same 13mm nut. As you can see, this is a stud, so you don't need anything on the top. We're gonna tighten that up. Do that on both sides. Now we're gonna put our cargo cover over that bar. Make sure that Velcro is seated on there. And then for the top, what we have to do now is put this Velcro over these bars here. So this one is a little bit longer to go over that Suntop logo and back around to the Velcro on the back side. I'm gonna peel all this back. Go around that, stick it, and we're gonna repeat that on the other side. All right, now we're gonna strap our windshield panel in place. Make sure that is nice and tight. Do that on both sides. All right, now we're gonna bring the back of our top into place. And then back here, our buckles for our strap, make sure it is nice and straight. We're gonna go in the bottom there and then through the top and just cinch that down like that. Do that on both sides. All right, guys, that's gonna wrap up my installation of this cargo top. For all things Jeep, keep it here at ExtremeTerrain.com.